Hey guys, my name is Alyssa Bowman. For those of you that weren't on with us last night or don't know who I am, I'm an Ambassador Diamond. I've been with the company for 9 years. And you guys, I am pumped about the lineup that we have for tonight. Let me go ahead and make this gallery view really quick. I don't want to stare at my face. So tonight is our training camp. If you were on with us last night, we had kind of just a short pep rally. Tonight is training camp and tomorrow is our opening night. This is just a way to get geared up and excited for conference, make sure everyone is on the same page and ready to take advantage of the season that we are entering right now. So tonight is going to be a ton of content. Like I said, we have a killer lineup of top leaders with us tonight that are going to be each speaking for 5 to 10 minutes on a specific topic that they are either really strong in or really passionate about. So it's going to be a lot of content in a short period of time. So you guys are going to want to get your notepads out, your iPads, whatever, however you're going to take notes tonight. It is being recorded and will be on my YouTube channel. I'm sure there's lots of things that you're going to want to go back and access. But for now, I want you guys to be as loud as possible in the chat, cheering these leaders on, sharing aha moments, asking questions. Get really loud and fired up in the chat. Give them tons of feedback as we go along. So I'm not going to take away from these leaders by chit-chatting at all. So the only thing that I'm going to tell you guys before I pass it off is that you're going to want to make sure you are on tomorrow night at the same time, the exact same code. Like I said, it's our opening night, which we are going to be giving you guys really just tips and encouragement for actually doing the things, okay? Taking action. So we're going to give you tips on time management, how to get through your KPIs, how to be super productive and intentional with your time and working smarter, not harder, because we know we are all busy, right? So, and then after we do a little bit of training tomorrow night, we're going to make it a boom Zoom. And that's just basically a power hour with music and giveaways and whatnot. So we want you guys to come to the Zoom wearing your favorite sports team stuff if you've got one. Bring pom-poms as a bonus point. We might have some fun giveaways for those that go all out. You can put some black under your eyes or whatever, but it's game time. It's 2021. It's time to go and put your running shoes on. So that all being said, I'm going to pass it off to my good friend, Tiffany Pfeiffer. But before I let her talk, you guys, she's going to be talking about recruiting tonight. And I don't think I remember a time that Tiffany has not been the #1 recruiter of our entire organization every single year. So we're talking 100 plus DTs probably for the last couple of years, which is insane, you guys. So I'm going to pass it off to her. Again, it's going to be a lot of info in a little bit of time. So please take notes and blow up the chat. Take it away, Tiff.
Hello, everyone. I am so stinking excited to be on this Zoom and see all of y'all's faces. Like Alyssa said, this is a lot of information I'm about to go over in a very short time. So bear with me and get your notes ready. So we're just going to jump straight in. The first thing that I want to talk about with recruiting is not to judge people, okay? So often, and I was guilty of this when I very first started, you go through your timeline, you go through your cell phone, and you already make that decision for them. You know, they already make a lot of money. They wouldn't do this. They already have a successful career. And you have to remember, guys, it is not your job to judge them. You do not know what is going on behind closed doors, and they may have a successful career. They may seem like all of their ducks are in a row on social media, but behind the scenes, they may need this. Financially, I didn't join for the financial standpoint. I joined as a distraction from a hard loss. I joined because life was hard and I needed something to keep me busy. So ask every single person that you can and don't judge them. So that leads me into my next tip, which is ask. Guys, you are professional askers in this business. You cannot ask too much. Alyssa is going to put in the chat one of my favorite reach out messages. So if you find someone on social media, whether that's Instagram, that's TikTok, that's Facebook, whatever it is, if you find someone you think would be really good at this, send them this message. Okay, because here's the thing, you don't want to rob someone of this opportunity. And I think I was at one of my very first trainings with Ashley Sinclair whenever I first joined this business. And she says, what if you were standing in line at a supermarket and the person right in front of you that had their stuff on the conveyor belt deeply needed this and was praying for God to give them an out, praying for God to give them something to bring them home or whatever it is, praying for more. What if you were standing behind that person that needed this, but you either number one, judged them, or number two, just decided not to ask them? It is not your job to rob people of this opportunity. It's your job to ask them. Let them tell you they're too busy. Let them tell you they can't do it. Let them tell you their reasons or rebuttals why they can't do it. But you don't need to decide that for them. You want to make sure that you ask all the way. And here's a little, tip for you. When I joined this business, prior to it, I was a loyal customer for 2 years, guys. I don't know if a lot of people know that even on my team. But right after I had Miles, I lost a whole lot of hair just from infertility treatments and just everything. Found our hair, skin, and nails, and I signed up as a loyal customer. Religiously ordered every single month. My auto shipment stayed on for 2 years, and not one time was I ever asked about this business. Not one time. And some random chick on Facebook one day asked me to join her business. I declined her for a solid 6 months, but then I joined, and guess what? I went diamond in 4 months. I could have helped change that lady's life or whatever, her paycheck, but she never asked me. And so here's the thing is, you got to remember that if you're not asking someone else will ask them. Okay, so make sure that it's you that gets in their inbox, not someone else. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is relating to that person. Learn what aspect in their life that they want to change the most. So often we don't even try to get to know the people that we're talking to. Why do they need extra income? That's one of the very first questions that I like to ask somebody. Why do you need extra income? What has you interested in making money? Because I want to relate to that person, and I want to show them reasons and other success stories of how that happened. Maybe they're a nurse and they're just tired of the shift work. Well, we have plenty of successful nurses in this industry. Whatever it is, relate to them and find, help find the reason as to why they can be successful. Remember, people buy you before they buy this business. So a lot of times I see a lot of newbies, they jump in and they just start posting, and it is a little bit more spammy, and it's not them. Remember, people still want to see you when you are posting and when you are working this business. What attracted you to the person that you signed up with? What was it? And ask yourself that if when you start posting, are you posting the way that you were posting before? Are you posting the way that your sponsor is posting? Or because if that's not what attracted you, most likely you're not going to attract people that way. So don't feel like you have to automatically go to a billboard type posting because people want to see you. People will buy you before they ever buy what you do. So remember that. 95%, guys, I told you I was zooming through this because I have so much to talk about. 95% of people are going or have come from follow-up messages, not my initial message. You will get unicorns out there, but I promise you guys, if you are not getting back in their inbox and following back up with them, you are missing the boat. You have to follow up. Following up is almost, I would actually not even say almost, following up is more important than the initial message that you are sending them. It is huge, and you need to make sure you are doing that. You are not bugging people. People have lives, guys. People are moms. I mean, I can't tell you the amount of times Miles has gotten my phone and I completely missed a notification. It happens. People are not always ghosting you. People are not always ignoring you. Get over that and get back in their inbox and follow up with them. Some of my favorite follow-ups are super simple. If it's Friday, we already talked. They know what I'm messaging about. I'll just message them and say, happy Friday. I hope you're having a good day. Sometimes I do say, hey, I'm inputting a few reps. I just want to check in. Is this your week to get started? And just keep it short and simple. You don't have to draw it out for them because I promise you, they know what you're messaging for. They're watching your post. So just get back in their inbox. The last thing that I'm going to talk about before I say not the last thing, it's my last tip. some of the biggest ways to find DTs, guys, host to post DTs. DT host to post. Make sure you're getting up a DT host to post every single day with your list of host to post. Boosting old DT messages. One of my favorite things to do, guys, after I am talking to people and I'm in their inbox, I like to actually go to my page and scroll through, and any of my distributor posts, I will boost them with, even if it's just an emoji. And that way, when they go back to my page after we've talked, now they're seeing tons of my distributor posts and they're like, okay, I'm all up in their head about becoming a distributor. Another thing, guys, is searching your inbox of, and this is mostly for people that have been in the business a little bit and have had conversations, but search your inbox for 99, 69, 49, 24. I've searched for website, the word website before, because I mean, when you're talking to people and they're ready to sign up, here's my website. I mean, think of keywords when you are talking to people, rep, kit, but I search these keywords and it brings up conversations that I've had with people in the way past that may have gotten buried or may have gotten lost or whatever the case is. And it gives me the ability to re-follow up with them. And the last thing I want to do before I pass this on is to let you know, like Alyssa said, I have signed multiple people. And I want you to hear that my first 3-ish years in the business of me signing 100 plus distributors a year, guess what? I went diamond in 4 months, but I stayed diamond for about 2.5, 3 years. And it was frustrating at times to be the top recruiter, but none of them seemed to take off. So I want to also, as much as it is so important to sign distributors, and I want all of y'all to leave this Zoom and go sign all the distributors, I want you to understand and realize that not every single distributor that you sign is going to take off. Okay, there's 4 types of distributors in this business. And I'm going to refer to this as a gym membership just so that y'all can kind of understand what I'm trying to say. But you're going to have some people that sign up and they never step foot in that gym. They never step foot in the door. They don't do anything. Why they paid to join this business and they don't do anything, Lord knows, but that doesn't define you or make you any less successful of a leader or a distributor. That's on them, not on you. The next people you have, they step in, and guess what? They didn't get rich in 24 hours. They didn't lose that, whatever it is. They stepped in, they stepped out. They tried for 24 hours and they stepped out. Again, it's not a reflection of you. It's on them. Then you have those people that step in and they need that personal trainer. These are the people that have the questions over and over and over again. They just need that extra help. And so you need to make sure that you give that to them. And we have tons and tons of successful tools that can help them with all of their questions. And then you have that rare breed guys. They come in, they don't have hardly any questions. They don't have to need a personal trainer. They just go into the gym motivated and they completely take off. But I want you to understand that whenever you are signing distributors, most of the time you're going to see that 1 and that 2. And that's nothing wrong with that. Okay. It's not a reflection of you, where you are in this business. So just keep signing. It's a numbers game. And I promise you, you are going to sign people that just get it. And you're going to get those number 3s or those number 4s, and they just take off and they completely change your business. So I know that was a lot of information. I am so sorry, but I could go on and on, but we are on a time crunch, and I'm going to send this over to Lachelle.
Hi. Oh my gosh, Tiffany, you're great. And if you see zeros in the comments, because this comes from my team, we put zeros when we do round of applause. So if you see that in the chat, that's what that is. But that was amazing. And I'm so excited to kind of just piggyback off of that, because sign distributors, guys, you said so many amazing points, but there is truly no reason right now not to sign distributors. These are people out there. We are truly everybody had a shitty year last year. Okay. But right now is the time that if we've been here for a while, we understand that right now is the opportunity daydreams, where everybody is really daydreaming about changing, their life is going to be different this year. And I feel as if daydreams are always kind of a God conscience. And it's one of those things where we have something to give these people, and we are doing indecency if we don't. And we are all capable as long as we go ask, as long as we truly seek. But when you start enrolling, all right, something that you want to start, because it starts from the very, very beginning, is layered leadership. Layered leadership starts from the day that you signed. All right. And I'm going to talk about, I really want to talk about just the importance of making sure that you're starting early, and kind of like just two different mindsets of how to look at placement, how to use it to everybody's advantage, and also just like the privilege of placement, like the idea that we're able to build with others and truly help other people achieve goals. Like such a selfless, um, it's an amazing selfless business concept. And but it can get complicated sometimes. So what I want to just explain to begin with is that when you are placed under, okay, like it is something that's so significant. And when you're placing, it's the same significance that maybe you have felt. And I'm somebody that's never been placed under, okay? But I had no choice but to put myself into the perspective of being placed under. And this is where layered leadership, like I feel truly lucky about how amazing our layered leadership that within our organization, because I've had to step away a few times within my 5 years because of life. And the layered leadership and the leaders just at every single rank, because we implement this so strictly, and it's just truly a part of our businesses, that like I've been able to come back where I left off. And it's just honorable. Okay. So when you show it, you're also expecting duplication. All right. So creating a system of layered leadership is important from the very beginning, because that's where people will start duplicating you. And there's longevity when it comes to like treating it as a business agreement when it comes to placement, because you like trust, like what is longevity in just a relationship in general, just like your spouse, it's trust. Like that's like the foundation of it. And also you got to think about, like, I'm inspired by people in this business because the influence that they've had on me. All right. It doesn't necessarily have to be placed under, but just instilling the belief in me, or affirming me of what I've done well. And placement is exactly that. And it is an opportunity for you as the leader that you are becoming, or wherever you are in your business, to not only speak to people, and I'm going to give you two messages. I'm going to read them to you, and I want you to hear them as if it was sent to you, because I'm truly wanting to transfer emotion and think about how would you feel if this was sent to you. And this is the message that like is to, placement when you're truly building, when you are like literally placing to build on your chart. And then I'm also going to give you a message that's very similar that has established layered leadership. If you are stacking, because it's still an opportunity to create layered leadership, and leadership will start emerging from this. All right. But placement is just an opportunity for you to build a true, strong team of leaders. All right. And like, if you just give and don't tell, they don't know what they have. It's like, it's hard for somebody to like not understand placement and then like get placed under and don't understand what that could do for their life, and then like never looks at their e-suite, and then all of a sudden, but that there's a triple diamond underneath of them. It's like all of you top leaders, like you hear me when you say that. And so we just made sure that we started to send these business agreements to everybody whenever we stacked or when we placed. So what I'm going to give you first, and again, I can put this in the chat when I'm done talking, but also I think that all of us leaders, we're going to post these recordings, and any of the scripts we'll just put in the comments. Okay. So the first thing I say when I go to ready and I want to establish layered leadership, when I go to place underneath somebody, I said, hey girl, I have a question for you. Let them respond. This message will have blanks because that's where you need to fill in things. And I'm just going to say blank, but I truly see so much with you in this business, trusting me to enroll in the fact that you literally drove right in and have kept going. And you have a special place in my heart, because insert the affirmation of why you wanted to sign them in the first place. I know you need this, and I want to start helping you grow a team. I have a distributor that I want to transfer you and start helping you build your business on these conditions. What I want to know is, are you ready to step up and be a leader to distributors I transfer you once you get the hang of things? I wouldn't ask it if I didn't know that you were capable. Know that. It's a big task that will require a long-term commitment with this business, but leaders make the big bucks. I will expect you to match me every time I place someone underneath of you within a month. Sometimes I change that to 2 weeks, depending on, how they're doing. If we build together, you'll reach blank and blank days. I will guide you in the entire way on how to lead, and I teach you how to truly become a leader, but you'll never have to grow alone, and I can promise you that. You'll eventually be in charge of guiding them, posting daily. contact daily by text, calls, Zooms, tagging them in posts, training them on what works for you, connecting with them, and helping them grow as well. I will expect you to lead by example with actively posting, being on Zoom, selling samples, blitzing, and working social media. Can you do that? This sounds like a business agreement, but that's because it is, LOL. I have to decide who to build with. And my heart over the last few days has said you again. I wouldn't ask you if I didn't know that you were capable. Know that. So with that said, I have to know that you are all in, but I need 100% yes. I don't feel like you have to if you don't want to. I take placement very seriously, but I know you deserve it. And again, like I've said 3 times now, LOL, I wouldn't offer this to you if I didn't think that you were capable. Now, I know that's like a really long message and a lot, but you have to think about the fact of like the 2 business agreements that I'm going to give you guys, it reveals a business mindset. You will find your lifers in the response of that answer, like that question. Like you will find people that are like, well, Shell, I'm ready. And it's like, I have seen double diamonds, triple diamonds, presidential diamonds blossom from that business agreement. Like Cherie is my only ambassador diamond. So like, she's just Cherie, So like, I'll get an ambassador diamond from that business agreement though, but I swear I didn't have to send it to her. But when I send that to people, every diamond I have, like I've sent that to, like truly. And I find the people, and people have said no to me. And that's my favorite, because it's like one of those things where I get to have my second choice, because sometimes it's hard to pick if you're not mass enrolling like crazy at that moment. Sometimes it's hard to pick if you're just kind of like building slowly or whatever it is. Don't build slow right now. But that is something that I think should be sent every single time when it comes to placement. Now, here's your stacking message, because stacking is just inevitable. Like it just is something like, I'm assuming everybody does it. I don't know. But I still use it as an opportunity for me to reconnect, restart, and like make myself re-available to somebody and reinstill belief. Okay. So the stacking, if I'm just stacking and like, they're the ones that like, it's like a 400 box that maybe like still hasn't responded to you or like is salting you off or whatever. Okay. Maybe they're going through some type of life. And you got to think again about the mentality of sending these messages. Like, what if this message came when she's finally done with that chapter of life? Like she's hit her rock bottom of that chapter, and all she needed was this message to restart why she joined in the first place. Because you got to remember that in that moment that everybody joins, we had 3 seconds of courage where we believed in ourselves so much for those 3 seconds. And then life started happening after those 3 seconds, and maybe we derailed. Hey girl, I know you started off slow and I haven't heard from you much, but I told you that I saw potential in you, and I'm going to place a distributor underneath of you to get your count building up some group volume. You'll be paid on everything she enrolls if you're commission qualified. Remember that I promised to lead you every step of the way, and it's something to get your chart started if you decide to jump back in. I'm all yours when you're ready. Listen, it creates a conversation. What do you mean I get paid on everything she's enrolled? Oh, and maybe it's something they needed to hear instead, because I fail at everything I do, and I'm prideful sometimes that like sometimes I just won't restart out of spite. But if it's like, I just wish I had somebody that came back. And here's the thing, I have watched that turn into diamonds and double diamonds. Okay. So it's just like a reminder, because is that real? That's so genuine. All I did was tell the truth. I did believe in you, and that's why you enrolled, which means you believe in yourself too. You are, but I don't want to, I want you to restart. Like I want to stack your account to build the group volume. Yeah. But I'm removing the selfishness of it because I want you to say, I want to go. All right. But it's a win-win-win-win-win. And the only other thing that I just wanted to just like touch on this is that like, it is so hard to trust people. Okay. Because maybe you feel as if these messages instill trust, like immediate trust. Okay. But like, you have to know, just like this business and building in this business and later leadership in this business, that like, I mean, everybody's going to hurt you, just like who you decide. And that sounds silly, but there might be people that can't handle it. Or you might have just placed underneath of the first ambassador diamond underneath of you. Like, you just never know. But you have to trust and understand, like, kind of like it's like a go for no thing. Like either way, whether you're stacking or what, you got to go for the best possible thing that can happen, is that they'll change your life. Like that's all it comes to. But you got to give people permission to be a leader. Like we are all coming from managers, and just this world is crazy. We don't even know if we can have our own control. Give people like their stage, like just instill that they can be a leader. I talk way too much. I'm done now.
Oh my gosh, it was so good. Our team's flipping out. They want the messages, and I'm like, I gotta go through my
I
e-suite real
promise you
quick.
guys will all get the messages. Okay, I promise.
I'm like, I gotta go through my e-suite real quick and message a few people. I love it. That was so good. Thank you for being open and sharing that with these other teams. Okay, so we're gonna pass it over to Stacy. Stacy, are you on here?
Hey, you guys.
Hey.
I'm so flattered. This is the biggest Zoom I've ever talked on, so I'm super pumped. So I have a little bit of a different story. I am a second timer, just like some of you guys will. Drop a 1 if you're a second timer, 2 because we're a special breed. Okay. So a little bit about my story, you guys. I want to show you this because I want to teach you about vision, because it's really, really important, and I want you to learn from my mistakes. Okay, because all of us leaders, that's exactly what we want you to do, is just learn from our mistakes, do the things faster, be able to do that. So I joined in 2014, which is funny because a lot of ambassadors who are now ambassadors joined either before or like 2014, or I mean after too, but like I joined with like a slew of people who I can think of. Like I think Jade joined the year before, and like just a ton of other people. And so I know that if I would have stuck it out, I would have been right where they were. But I'll tell you the story. So I never saw past diamond. Okay. So like, how many of you guys want to go diamond? Just drop a 2 in the chat real quick. How many of you are striving for diamond? Okay. Awesome. Diamond is life-changing. It's amazing. It is so great. But I want to tell you something. I wanted diamond so bad. It took me 2 years to get there. And if you're past that point, or if you're before that point, just know that it's all in God's timing. But I wanted it so bad that I never saw anything past diamond. Okay. I never was looking towards double. I never felt worthy enough of double. A lot of it was like self-development stuff that I just never knew how to do, that now obviously I've like overcome that. But I just had to continue dreaming, and I stopped. And then I stopped working. And then we all know what happens when we stop working. It all falls apart, right? So you might be in this stage where you're like, okay, wait a minute. I took a step back. Okay. How do I get back to where I'm going? Right. So I want to just touch on the fact that when I started again, and you don't have to like create a whole new account. Maybe you're stuck in this place right now and you're thinking in your head, like, this is where I'm at. Okay. And that's totally okay. We don't have to like drop a number or anything like that. You don't have to admit that. Sometimes admitting that is like the hardest thing, is just knowing that like there's more and you don't know how to get it. So I want to help you guys create a vision again. But I also want to show you guys what I'm doing and what I have done to create a vision for my newbies. That way that roadblock doesn't happen for them. And sometimes it does, but that's them. It's not me, right? I know that I've done everything I can. The second time I came in, I took notes because I could talk for days, just like Lachelle could, and like fast too. So make sure you're listening, okay? So I had just a clear vision and focus. I knew that I was worth so much more than dropping my kids off at daycare every day. I had just had my son, our second child, and daycare called, and they were like, oh, it's only going to be $1,700 to take him. And I was like, oh, you're crazy. That's ridiculous. No, I'm a teacher. Like, I don't make that kind of money. And my husband was like, well, whatever happened to your business? Like that thing, that like paid for our wedding and our honeymoon on cash and all these things. But I just stopped dreaming. I didn't have anything after that. So I was like, well, I don't know. Like, I just kind of stopped working because like people stopped working. And that's like where some of you guys might be, where you're like looking at your chart and you're like, hello, where is everybody? Well, I'm going to tell you what, you guys, literally, it's your job to go find more people. It doesn't matter who's on your chart. Print off a new one. Okay. Print off a new one and fill that up, because God has people waiting for you. And just pray over those boxes and say, you know what, God, I already know that you know who those people are supposed to be. Just show me the way. But that's where you have to kind of put the footwork in and go for it. So I had like a clear vision and a clear focus on where I needed to go. I knew I needed to start making $1,000 real quick. Okay. So I joined for like diapers and formula. I did that my first month. I went Ruby in like 18 days. I went Emerald my next month. I earned the $10,000 diamond bonus. I went double the next month. And then I sat for a year, and it was just God saying, like, you need to learn how to lead, girl. And some of you might be sitting in that position. Like, why am I not promoting? Come on, God. Isn't it my time yet? There's people on this chart. Hello. But here's the thing. They might not be your people. They might not be your people. So that's the thing with like continuously recruiting, whether it's steps to success or you're a mass recruiter, it's okay. Be whatever you want to be, but at least recruit. Okay. Like because I'm a steps to success girl. I try to do it twice a month. And literally, I always think Sherry Lynn is she was the #2 earner last year, and she doubles it every single month. She doubles it every single month. If she can do it, I can do it. If she can do it, I can do it. Okay. But let's talk a minute about like goals and ranks, because one, you have to continuously bring in new. Okay. Let's talk about what you need to do when you get them in. Okay. So what I try to do, if you've ever seen Morgan McIntyre's Poppin' Rubies, go to her YouTube. It is phenomenal. Okay. I learned so much. I think I watched it like 4 times the same weekend, and I took different notes every time. Like, it was that good. But I took a lot from that. So if you want, like, this is like the Spark Note version. So what I do, you guys, I get them face to face, and like, that might not be some people's things. Cause like my best friend in presidential, Kara, she's like, I don't know. Like thanks, Christina. I just got a nice text message from a teammate, but, Kara likes to get people on the phone or just text messages or voice messages, but I like to see them face to face, because I think that gives them like skin in the game. Like, oh God, she's met me. Ugh, I gotta like show up now, right? At least for me, like if someone's seen my face, I'm like, I gotta show up, right? Like, I can't just like sit back and relax now. So I start coaching them on how to get their 6 LCs, which I'm sure that like a ton of our teams and uplines have awesome systems. Like Kara, I know we just did like a whole new newbie board. We have a whole new team training. Like, we revamped everything because it's a new year. We're ready to go. We have the systems in place. Use the systems, people. Like, don't try to recreate the wheel. It is there for a reason. So if literally your upline made a board for you to say like, step 1, log into EC. Step 2, add yourself to the team page. Like, literally go for it. Like, use what we're using, because obviously it's working. But probably around the time they get their 3rd LC, okay, which Morgan touches on the base of, don't place everything for them, because I've made that mistake too. Then it enables them and they think that you're just going to do it all for them, right? But it's their business. I'm here to help and guide you along. And I want you to feel the victory of getting your shopping spree. But I might place, I used to place 5 and I was like, oh, you got to get that last one. But sometimes they're like, on the 30th day, they're like, what should I post? And I'm like, you should have been posting for 30 days. Like, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't, like, call your mom. So when they get like their 3rd LC, I'm like, guess what? You have 3 more LCs, and then we're going to coach you to Ruby. Okay. I always plant the vision of Ruby before they even get their 6 LCs. Okay. Because you want them to see what the next step is before they're there. Okay. Like, for me, my next step is presidential, but my next step is ambassador, which is really scary. But like, for the first time in forever, I looked at ambassador chart and I was like, oh, it's only a presidential and 2 triples. That's fine. Like, you know what I mean? But like, I looked at it. So it's like, I know where I'm going. Okay. And that's really good advice too, is if you're in that promotion season and you're not a newbie, you're a veteran, or you're stuck, and you're trying to unstuck yourself, print off the next 2 charts. Know where you're going. So that's what I do with news. And then you just keep doing that. When they have gotten 2 distributors, or you've placed 1 and they've placed 1, or maybe you've placed 2, do not place that 3rd, because we all know if you place the 3, they ain't gonna do crap. They gonna fall off, at least in my experience. Or you can use Lachelle's thing and say, because that was really good. We're like, I love that. I got to start using it. We're like, you're gonna make money, you might as well help, kind of thing. I wish I would have had that like 2 years ago, Lachelle, so thank you. So let's talk about if you're in the promotion phase right now and you're like, okay, Stacey, I'm sitting at diamond, but I don't even know how to get to double diamond. And like, an emerald fell off, and like, I got a ruby and like a newbie. Okay. So let's talk about that. So you're probably drop a 3 in the chat right now if you're looking at your next step as a mountain of volume. and DTs on your chart that you need to fill. I'm just going to take a sip because I know y'all are going to drop it. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little trick. We're all in the same place. Okay, as soon as you get to the next rank that you go to, it always feels like a mountain. Okay, like my diamonds are looking at double and I'm like, oh God, what I would do to go double. I gotta go press. That 100,000 is like creeping in on me. Like I wake up in nightmare sweats because I'm like, oh my God, like it's 99999 and I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm one away, right? So okay, so for those of you who are going emeralds, okay, and this is easy to do volume this way, so I'm just using emerald volume, and plus they have the $5,000 bonus. So say right now you have signed and calculated that your GV for the end of the month right now as you stand is 1,000 volume. Well, we know you need 5,000 volume to go emerald, and your goal should be to go emerald by February 28th because that's the last day. So there's 48 days left. You need 4,000 volume. You take 4,000 divided by 48 and you chop it into a little tiny thing, and you're like, oh, I only need 84 GV a day. We can do that. That's only 3 30 orders, or you pick 3 and a fat fighter. Okay, so you have to take whatever your overall volume is divided by the day of your goal. Okay, and then you have to just tell your team where you're going. The best thing I did this month was tell my team, hey, you guys, we're going to hit this amount of volume this week. I'm so excited. And I'm going to give this away. If you don't give things away, you guys, giving is like one of my love languages. And I love being like, you get a Starbucks tumbler, you get a gift card. Like that just makes my heart happy. And I know like my team thrives off of getting things. So they just want to put they just want to drop their LC in that. And now we have a new goal for this coming week, which is super exciting. So always know where your next goal is while you're working towards your current one. And then this is the best thing, you guys, I could have done for my business. I always create, I know I'm talking too long, I'm so sorry, but I'm hoping that you guys are getting some good nuggets. This is like a really broad topic, I feel like, to narrow down into 5 minutes. But I was listening to a sermon and he said, vision creates direction, which is like your chart, knowing where you're going, and vision creates passion, knowing where your goals are. So you have to know, like, if you joined for, like I did, for formula and diapers, and then I never stepped it up, I'm always going to be paying for formula and diapers. So it's time to dream bigger, sister, because as soon as I was paying for formula and diapers, I was like, I kind of want that Costco couch that I have been seeing in the store and sitting on the last 2 years. And guess what? I went in and I bought that thing with cash and it felt so good. And guess what? I had like 12 minutes to get to the store because it was the last one. I drove so fast, packed my kids up in the car, found, like, it was crazy. It was such a rush. And then it's like, it's literally sitting behind me in our living room. And then I was like, I'm going to pay off $20,000 of credit card debt. Why? Because I can. Broke that up into chunks. I went double diamond. I did it in 5 months. I went live, chopping up 9 credit cards, bawling my eyes out. But do you know how many messages I got saying that it's inspiring? Do you know how many people joined my team? Doing the hard things is hard, but guess what? So many other people in the same situation that you are, we're just brave enough to talk about it. Okay. So just know where you're going. The last thing I want to leave you guys with, write yourself a letter to yourself for next January. What rank are you going to be? What does life look like? What do your days look like? What kind of house are you going to live in? I wrote myself a letter from last October to this October, and it literally brought me to tears this October because I totally forgot I wrote it. And I found it in my notes and I was like, I'm living the life I wrote about. Are you kidding me? We just bought our forever home with the huge backyard and great schools and all these things. And I was like, wow, manifesting, it's real. Like, it is so real. So do the things, show it for yourself, show it for your team or future team, and just take all the notes, jump on all the Zooms, create a big vision, and then do the work every single day. Write yourself a letter and you're going to show up as that person next year. Thanks, guys.
Oh my gosh, so good. I don't think that any of you guys need to apologize if you talk a little bit long. I think everyone on this Zoom would agree that they want all of the information, all the tips. You can come back and watch the recording. So please, we still have 3 people left to talk. Like, you guys hang on. It's boom season. You don't need to be going to bed early anyways. So just stay on, soak up all of this goodness. And that was so good. I'm gonna have to go back and watch the recording of your part because it was so fire. Okay, so we're moving on to host to post. We're gonna do some customers and how to gather that volume that we were just talking about to get your 84 a day or whatever you need. So we're gonna pass it over to Emily Collins, who's gonna give us some of her best host to post tips.
Hey, you guys. I'm so excited to be here. So let me start off just by saying that I am also a second timer like Stacy, and I'm actually on Stacy's team. So guys, listen to what she says because she's fire. Okay. But to go and kind of with what she's saying, like, know where you're going, take your chart out, know how much volume you need. Host to post is going to get you there because, and I went back and looked before the Zoom. The month I went diamond, I signed 42 customers by myself, and 90% of them came from host to post. And I am not going to lie, I was so against host to post when I joined because I was like, who has time for this? Like, who has time to respond to 150 messages in one day? But you guys, it's so easy. You follow the tools like I was talking about. You just follow the steps. It's all laid out for you. All you have to do is save it into your notes and copy and paste, or use the boards app, or use text replacements. Whatever you're most comfortable with is what's going to get you there. And like I said, I signed 42 customers by myself, and 90% of those came from host to post. And it was all because I knew where I was going, and I laid out, I knew I wanted to get a giveaway post up every single day. And if you guys aren't getting in the giveaways that the teams are having or that your team is having, I highly suggest you start, because if you could spend $5 or $10 and make a $3,000 paycheck, I swear that is such a payoff. So my goals for like every single day is I get up 10 host to posts every single day. Of course, there are some days where life happens and you maybe don't get the 10 up, but my main goal is to get up 10 every single day. And I get up 2 giveaway posts. So like I give them to post my giveaway so I can work their friends list and get their network and use their network. And then I do 4 product posts and I do 4 distributor posts. So I make sure to do those up every single day. And as soon as I post it, I try my hardest to get to all of those comments in that one day. And then at the end of the day, I delete it and get a new one going in the morning. So that way I can start fresh the next day. I wrote notes too, guys, because I could talk forever. So I know you're, okay, so host to post, you message these people and you can see that they've read it and they don't respond, or they say, sure, I'll post. And then you send it to them and they never post. And you're like, well, I sent 15 messages and not one person has posted. That's okay. Just send some more. And if it gets down to like the end of the day and I see, oh my gosh, I've only got like 5 or 6 up. You guys, Greenlight Messaging is going to be your BFF, because those are people that are on right now. So as soon as you pop up, they're going to see it because they're already on their phones. So I automatically just send them the post, even if they didn't comment on the giveaway post. I just sent them, hey girl, I've got a $250 cash drawing at the end of the month. Would you like to get in on this? No purchase necessary. That's another tip. If you put no purchase necessary in the status or in the message you're sending, that's a good one, because a lot of times they're thinking, oh, I have to buy something to get into this. They don't. They just have to post for you. So Greenlight Messaging, and then I will also send a follow-up message to the people that said, yes, I will, but they never did. I'll say, hey girl, you want to go ahead and get this post? I'd love to enter your, And most of the time they're like, oh my gosh, I completely forgot. My kids were lazy. Let me go do that now. And then you've got your 5 posts up. If that still isn't getting you anywhere, then I just go straight to my friends list. I look to see who's online in the last hour, and I will click their name and I will send them a message. It's just so easy. And coming from somebody who never did it, did not like doing it, and to now loves it, and to make sure that I do this every single month, you guys, it's gold. It's gold. It is what got me to diamond. It's what's getting me to double and getting my husband's account to diamond, because I'm going places and you guys can go places too. This is the easiest way to do like your 6 list. You can friend all your people you need to do in the day, send your messages, add to your network, get your customers. You could even do your 4 or 6 customers and 3 distributors in one day just by host to post. So let me see, what else did I write down? Oh, another thing is I always ask people that have said that they wanted to order, but they never did. I even go back and ask them, hey, I know you wanted to order, but, or I know it's not the right time for you to order, but I'm doing a $1,000 giveaway. Would you love to get on that? No purchase necessary, girlfriend. You guys, you're getting into their inboxes. Getting into their inboxes is key, because once you get into that inbox, they're going to start seeing your stuff more. And then they're going to start seeing your dummy posts more. And then they're going to start seeing you have all these amazing results with your coffee. And it's just going to keep rolling. And you're going to be overwhelmed, but it's going to be a good overwhelm, because you're going to have so many people in your inbox at one time. And you're going to be like, oh my gosh, so many people want this. So many people want my business. So many people want to be customers. So many people want it. I call it controlled chaos. That's what I call it. My house is chaos. I've got lots of kids. And my business is controlled chaos, but it's good chaos, because it gets me where I want to go. So I can't stress enough, get up, set a goal that you know you can reach. If that's only 5 a day, then do that. But you need to not make excuses. You need to get it done. If you're going to set 5 a day, you need to make sure you're doing the things, you're sending the messages to get those 5 a day. Because I don't know about you guys, but me, if I know I didn't get my 10 up that day and I go to bed, I feel like I can't sleep good, because I feel like I didn't do all that I could have done to get my work done that day. So that's all I've got. I mean, like, I love host to post. It's honestly gotten me where I am. And if you haven't started, or you're scared to start, just go for it. Message your enrollers, message your presidentials. They are going to be there to help you. Message anybody that you know is doing host to post. Everybody is going to give you help, even if you're overwhelmed. It's okay. We all get overwhelmed. I'm just going to leave it there.
That is so perfect. I would love to see a 1 in the chat if you promoted in any of your spots, spouse, your spot in 2020 using primarily host to post. And I want, if you're someone that's on here that's like, host to post doesn't work for me, people don't comment on my giveaway, host to post, I want you to stop saying that out loud. Stop typing it in chats. Host to post is working for other people, and it will work for you. But you're going to have to get creative. You're going to have to message people and ask them to post for you. You're going to have to grow your network. You're going to have to find other ways to grow your network. If you're not getting comments, you're going to have to ask people. And eventually, when your network gets that big, you will have more people posting for you. But it's working. It's still working. It has been working. So start manifesting that. Start affirming that over your business. Like, I'm going to be a rock star at host to post, and you will start to see that turnaround in your business. So I love that you shared all of those tips. I know we could go on forever and ever about host to post, because our team preaches it too, but we are going to pass it over to Sarah, who is going to talk about upselling, because host to post is awesome. Getting customers is awesome, but you know what's better than getting customers is getting big order customers, because obviously helps us promote, but it also helps our customers see better results, which allows them to use the products longer, encourages them to use the products longer. And also a lot of those people—
You're taking all my material.
Sorry.
I'm
Okay,
just kidding. I'm totally kidding.
I'm done. I was just gonna say, and it turns into—
Oh my gosh, I love you. I'm totally kidding.
Go for it.
Yeah, hey you guys, I'm Sarah Brewer. I am triple diamond, gonna be prized so dang soon. I am so excited about this Zoom. I hope you all are taking notes. You can also save the chat. So you should definitely do that because there's messages in there. I'm going to be putting some messages in the chat after I go because I would get way too distracted. So watch out for my messages because, okay, so upselling. So I used to be afraid of this. I honestly used to never even think about upselling. So I want to see a 1 as well in the chat. If you are like afraid to upsell, you're like, I don't want them to not order or change their mind, or maybe you don't even think about it. Maybe you were like me. Cool. So pretty much everyone, I mean, especially if you're new, you might not even really know what that is. But upselling is it's like peanut butter and jelly when it comes to signing customers, because the fact of the matter is our products work amazingly together. And if somebody wants to lose even 30, 40, 50 plus pounds, one cleanse is not going to do anything. So you're actually doing them a disservice by just selling them one cleanse, or even just selling them just TFX or one bag of coffee. For the love of everything holy, please do not talk about the products that are in 15-day supplies. So like the coffee, the sleepy tea, keto tea, don't talk about them as one bag. You have to talk about any of the products that are in a 15-day or a smaller supply. You have to figure out a way to talk about them in their month supplies worth. I have like messages that I'll share in the chat, like I said, but I don't talk about like, I can get you a 15-day supply of the coffee. And if you do, and that works great for you, awesome. If you are getting like 80, 100, over 100 BV orders by talking about anything that I say already, awesome, keep doing that. But if you're getting like 30 BV orders or maybe selling 2 products to some people, then listen. Because that was me too. I wish when Host to Post first came out and started like taking off, I was like cleansed. Like I think I got over 60 customers the first month that I really did Host to Post, and this was like over a year ago. I wish I had upsold because one, I had tons of angry customers that ordered one cleanse and expected to lose weight. I was still sort of newer, so that was like my big like eye opener. Like, oh, I need to sell more than one product for these customers because our products work together. And like I said, one cleanse is not going to do really anything if you're not pairing it with our other products. And then I also wish I had known about upselling back when I got like 60 cleanse customers in a month, because I probably would have like gone diamond or whatever. But so learn from me. I want to encourage you guys that if you are like afraid to upsell, kind of figure out, like think about it tonight a little bit and figure out why. Is it because you don't believe in our products? That's okay. You should probably just talk to your upline or get on your team page, or even have a conversation in one of your team chats and just be like, hey, can you guys like instill some belief in our products for me? If you're brand new and you don't have an awesome testimony with our products yet, then maybe you don't know. But if you kind of have a lack of belief in the products, or maybe you just lack confidence that you can talk about the products in a way that people are going to want to try more than one. Again, ask your sponsor for help with that. Ask your uplines and your chats that you're in for help with that. And then, sorry, I had to take notes too, because apparently we all can just talk for hours. So this was like a huge eye opener for me. We don't get to decide if someone is too broke to order more than one product. We don't get to decide that. We don't get to decide if someone is not interested. You have to ask. You have to, because if you don't ask, then it's always going to be no. You're always buying just 30 BV orders. And I feel like you're always going to have somewhat unsatisfied customers, because again, one product is not going to bring them the results that they truly want. Because a lot of the times what I've found is that people, they're not consistent with the products, especially the first month. And so they're not going to start seeing results until maybe like week 3 or week 4. And if they don't have more than one product, that's just going to prolong the results that they're supposed to see, right? So I had one lady one time, I was talking to her, and it was back when like I was asking people their budget. I personally don't ask people their budget anymore. If you do and it works for you, awesome. I personally just don't. But I was asking, and she said like she's broke or something like she said broke. And I was like, oh, great. Because she wanted to lose like a substantial amount of weight. Well, I had a decision. Do I offer one product, like the cheap product? Don't, again, Fat Fighters is not another one. Don't offer just Fat Fighters, please. But like, do I offer a cheap one, or what do I do? So I gave her like my triple threat message or core 4, whichever it was. And she bought it. Her broke spent over $200. So again, we don't get to decide how broke someone is. If someone doesn't have the money, if they're not interested, we don't get to decide that. So just take that decision off your shoulders, lift it off. It's not yours anymore. Now, the only decision that you have to make is to just ask. So, okay, obviously you're like, when do I upsell? What questions do I ask? I'm gonna put some messages in the chat, but some things that I wanna talk about first. I have a couple different ways that I go about my products. So let's say I did a weight loss host to post, and I'm in a conversation with someone because they said that they want to lose 30 pounds. I typically will just go with TFX, and then I'll go through my TFX combo. I'll tell them the price of TFX. They're in for TFX. They're good. And then I get their info. And after I have their info, I have a cleanse upsell. I have a carb control upsell. I have a skinny brew upsell. If we have like pick 2, pick 3, I have like bundling upsells. Another like little thing that personally, again, I do. If you do what works for you, but if stuff isn't working for you, try this. I personally don't talk about it as like you can pick 2 or you can pick 3, because one, they're always going to pick 2. Like why why would they do 3 if 2 is cheaper? And secondly, pick 2 is skinny brew. It's 2 bags of skinny brew. So again, when I said like we talk about the products in their monthly supply, you always want to go with right away to the pick 3 if you're talking about one of the products that has the 2 bags, because that's 1, 2, and then you want to have that third product to link in there. So that you can do it after you have their info. You can go with your upsell. And so many times I'm like, ooh, I'm afraid to upsell. Like, I don't know why, I still am. I've been doing this for a couple of years and I still am, but whatever. So you can, if you're afraid every single time, join the club. And it's a 50-50. Either they're going to say yes or no. But here's another thing. If they say no right then, a lot of the times people will come back to me like a couple days later or a week later, or even after payday, or I even ask them like, hey, when's payday? We can add it then. If it's in the same month, you get that PV for that month, or they'll ask to add it to their next month. Like, it's always planting the seed. We are seed planters and seed waterers. We don't get to decide when the seed pops, but we water the seed and we plant the seed. So that's the first kind of upsell is after you have their info. Or what I have also recently been doing, I'm gonna like look on my phone for this because this is like, I'm loving this right now. So everybody that does a host to post for me this month, I started doing this, and I know like we've had a lot of different renditions of this. So if you've been doing this and it's been working, awesome. But after people post for me, they say posted, I have been sending them a message. I'll put it in the chat later. But it's just like, thank you, we'll be drawing the winner this time. Oh, and one more thing, since you have been so helpful, I would love to offer you my VIP discount on a product that will help you with your New Year's resolution. Do you mind if I ask you a couple questions? So I would say, do you mind if I ask you a couple questions? And I have like this pre-populated, like short little question. It's 3 questions. Are you a coffee, tea, or both drinker? Okay, I've never read these out loud. Don't make fun if they don't really make sense. Number 2, For weight management and nutrition, would you rather have a chewable, a pill you swallow, or a yummy powder you mix into water? 3, are you anxious, stressed, or need better sleep? So that kind of covers the whole like gamut, minus like our skincare. I've been asking those questions and they answer the questions. And I have, again, like I'll put these in the chat, but I have, you know, some messages based on what they say that'll give them a list of products. And this lady ordered 84 BV today. And I met her on yesterday. She came from a giveaway host to post. So she didn't even comment on a product host to post. She commented on the giveaway host to post. I gave her the post. She posted yesterday, or maybe this morning. I can't remember all the time. But and I sent her the like, can I ask you some questions? Blah blah blah. Boom. 84 BV. Didn't know her as of yesterday morning. So that's what we call a unicorn. But what's really awesome is you run into a lot of unicorns the more you ask, the more you put yourself out there. So that was kind of, so I know you're like, where's the upsell? Okay, so the upsell in that type of conversation is honestly, I'm giving her a bulk of products. Like I'm starting, like I gave her slimming gummies, sleepy tea, and chai tea. Okay, so I gave her 3 products. I didn't like upsell after I had her info after that because that was like a good amount of products. So that's kind of, I like to sometimes start high and then like if they're like, oh, like if I tell them the price, and let me read, okay, so I'm just gonna read this really fast. I'm sorry, I'm going a long time too, but I feel like by the grace of God, I've like, he's given me like a good way to like word things a lot of the times. And I like, don't say that as like, oh, look at me. But so when I explain pricing, because I feel like a lot of people either get nervous or they don't know what to say when it comes to the pricing. I'm just going to read what I say out loud, especially when we have these pick 2 and pick 3. Okay, I'll just go. Okay, so I sent her like the list of the 3 different products and was like, I can actually bundle all of these together for a huge discount too. How is everything sounding so far? She said, it sounds great. She, you know, all that. And I was like, girl, well, okay, sorry, I related to her. And then, so my typical message picks up, and for this time of year, it's super affordable. Everything would normally be like $60 to $70, but I can make a bundle for you for only $89, and the sleepy tea is only $49 as well, with my 90-day VIP discount. I love giving this discount because it's setting you up for the results you really want at an affordable budget too. You will have my access to 40 to 60% off all of our products, plus you earn free product each month. Usually there is a $50 membership fee, but that is waived when you simply try any product you want for 3 months. So there's this order today and then another in February and in March, easy peasy. How does that sound? So I send that to every single person and all I do is just change the pricing and whatever products they're getting. And let me explain just a teeny bit. I know this is like, sorry, but this is like nitty gritty. When it comes to pricing, so she was interested in the slimming gummies, sleepy tea, and chai tea. So those are all a part of our pick 2, pick 3. So what I do is I picked the chai tea to do the 2 bags. And I didn't tell her all of this because that's the thing. Like, if I were to tell her, like, okay, I'm gonna do two bags of chai and then a bottle of slimming gummies and then this and that, like, it's just like I can't even speak about it because it's so confusing. So anyway, so I did the 2 bags of chai and the slimming gummies, the 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And then I said that the sleepy tea, I only did 1 bag of the sleepy tea. Now what I probably should have done, but honestly, I was really distracted with my kids when I did this order. But what I could have done is after I had her info, I could have said, I can actually throw in 1 more bag of the sleepy tea for only $49. What do you think? Dang it, I should have done fine. Because she's getting free shipping. That's another thing I'm always like, in free shipping, like I'm such a sucker for free shipping. I'll pay $20 more to not pay for flipping $5 shipping. But anyway, it's also all about like just being confident, and like if you want somebody to kind of proofread your messages or something, ask your upline and be like, does this sound okay? And once you get into a good confident flow with upselling, it's gold. I've been doing the same thing for over a year. Like obviously things change a little bit with pricing and with different products and stuff, but I have been using that like easy peasy, the VIP discount. I have been using that message for over a year. I rarely get people saying like, why am I getting an auto ship the second month? I rarely get people that are surprised by their auto ship. It's just amazing. So anyway, okay. I went so long. But that's all.
It was so good. No, it was perfect. I just was going to add in, I know Emily Duba on our team always shares this, but as far as offering upselling, it's just like you're a waitress at a restaurant. Like you offer someone dessert and they say no. Okay, that's it. Like your feelings aren't hurt. You offered it and that's it. So our job is to just offer. And I can't remember if you said this or not, but I like to offer several products too. So that way, even if the answer is no, I find that those customers order longer because I do mention things that they're interested in trying. And so it's really easy for them to switch an auto ship, or if they don't love something, I've already listed off all these other things that they might like. So whether or not they take me up on it that day, it's just like planting a seed, just like anything else in this business. So, okay. So we have one last person to speak tonight. I'm pumped about it. You guys are going to love Jen. She is going to pop on here and bring the fire to close out this Zoom. So Jen, I'll let you take it over. And Sarah's putting messages in the chat.
Okay, awesome. Thank y'all. Okay, so I'm talking about consistency and trusting the process. And y'all, this is like one of my favorite topics. Alyssa said, what do you want to talk about? I'm like, this is easy for me. So here we go. I'm red, I'm green, but I'm a lot of blue on the back end. I kind of call myself an El Camino. So I'm really loud, but I'm very passionate. And you're about to hear a lot of this. You've heard all these women talk and give amazing tips. They're very successful. That's why they were told and asked to talk about their topics. But you, whether you started today, yesterday, or you've been in this for years, what are you going to do about it now that you've heard all this, right? You can attend the Zooms, you can hear all the great things, you can do all the podcasts, but what are you going to do about it? And so one thing I want you to kind of ask yourself, because it does not matter what anything happens, if you have not made the decision of where you're going and what you want, it's not that you're tired. It's not that you're not motivated. It's not that you're unqualified. It's not that you're inspired. You haven't decided. So that's going to be the first thing that you have to do. You need to decide that tonight, because no matter what, your consistency, you're trusting the process, the community, whatever it is, the goals, they ain't going to come. Like you have to do that. All right. The next thing you have to realize is long-term consistency outweighs your short-term urgency. So for those of you who've been here this month, you can totally ignore this, but everybody else, stop showing up only on the 25th and after. Okay? Your business does not sustain that way. You will not promote to where you want to go doing that month after month. Y'all, yeah, the end of the month is magical and it's unicorn because you've planted all your seeds. If you're someone after the 25th that's not showing up and you're going, where are all my people? That's why everybody else was showing up before the 25th, okay? Not only that, but if you want momentum on your chart, you got to move. Okay. If you want momentum, you got to move. All right. Stop being only just a dreamer. You got to be a doer with this. And what that means is what everyone's talked about tonight. And that is the 6 things that we do every single day. You cannot just give this business 30 days, 2 weeks, 24 hours and hear all the no's. First off, hearing the no's, congratulations, sis, because that means you're working. All right, that means you're working. And if you don't think Alyssa, Tiffany, Sarah, Stacy, any of these girls don't hear a no, you're crazy. We probably hear a lot more because we're consistent every single day. But you know what? You take those no's out, y'all, it's a mindset. Those are not nows. So you have to continue to prioritize your 6. You can't just post. I always tell my team, hey, y'all, like the posting's not going to bring all the customers and DTs to the yard. Like that's not what we do. That lets people know that you're open for business. But if you're adding to your network, your host a posting. If you're in a bad network, you host a post, you go find the groups, you go find all the things to get you out of that. Y'all, I went diamond in 90 days before host a post. A lot of your leaders promoted to the top like Diamond Plus without Host to Post. Host to Post has changed the game. Yes, yes. No is not no forever. No is not now. Y'all, I've had people who've watched my journey because I kept asking. I was consistent. I am a testimony of that. I was a customer first. Stormy, who's my pres above, has been asking me for 2 years. I told her no for 2 years. I ignored it, but I watched her post because she was consistent. I watched her stories because she was consistent. You never know who's your next triple to take you pres. You never know who's that diamond that's taking you to double. You never know. So the consistency of it is so, so powerful. So stop comparing to the left and right. Okay. Your story is your story, but you have to do the things every single day. And in order for you to also be successful in this business with consistency, you also have to be consistent to be coachable. Okay. You have to be willing to be coachable. You have to be willing to take little bits of here and there. So congratulations for the 100 plus that were here tonight, because that means you do want more. And what I love is when you show up consistently, not just with your 6 less, but to the teams, to the chats, and to the Zooms, you're learning. That's what we did. I wasn't trained. Y'all, I got on YouTube and just found all these self-developments, all these other top leaders, and said, oh, I like what she did. I like what she did. So you consistently showing up to Zooms is also very, very important in your business. So congratulations for that. The next thing is your leader cannot coach you if you're not showing up consistently. If you're not enrolling, but you're not showing up consistently, you know what they're going to tell you? You got to show up first. I don't know how to coach you if you don't show up first. So you have to do all the things, the interaction, the posts, the host of posts, the follow-ups. Y'all, adding to your network is so important. I know for some people, I think it was Eric or Emily that mentioned this, and it's like you doing host to post almost adds your entire KPI list. Like that's what's amazing about it, right? But I need you to know something. Just because you're uncomfortable, don't substitute that for this business isn't for you. We have all done things that are so uncomfortable in this business. I never thought I'd be someone that was going to ask. I never wanted to quote unquote spam people, right? It wasn't that I was shy. I was like, no, that's not for me. I did that. And I even did it after I went diamond because I had no vision for it. But you know what happened? As soon as I made that decision, even after diamond, to stay consistent, my business never went backwards because of it. So you have to decide that it's okay to be uncomfortable in this business, but if you're consistent with it, just like any other job, if you don't show up to your 9-to-5 girlfriend, you're not going to promote. You're not going to promote in your 9-to-5. You'll probably get fired. You know what I mean? It's not any difference. You might be in a ruby, emerald, or diamond spot. If you're not showing up, girlfriend, you're getting stacked and replaced. This isn't any different. This is not any different. So you have to decide, do you want hobby money or do you want CEO money? Because it's up to you ultimately to take ownership of your business. You know, don't wait for someone to place for you. So when they do, it's like a hallelujah, thank you, Jesus. And it's a bonus. That's what that is. And that's all it should be, but you should go get it for yourself. All right. And not only that, but I just want to say the last thing, because I'll be super quick because I know we're doing all this, but for some of y'all who've been in this business a little longer, and I know that's just how it is, we look to the left and the right, you also need to be consistent with your self-development. Okay. It's not just, you know, the enrollments, the HAPs, all the things, your self-development. And that is something that I wish I would have known my first 2 years, y'all. I hit it hard when I was going triple, and 2020 was hard for all of us. But I can tell you right now, it didn't break me like a lot of people because I did my self-development. My recovery time of hard was like this rather than like this. You know what I mean? So self-development is so big. So I don't care what you did in 2020. I don't care what your business did. It is okay. It's a new year, and it's time to start walking and talking and working like what you want. We're all here. We all started at 0. And so my thing for you is, if you started today, you started tomorrow, and you're going, why did this person get my 6 list and this person that didn't? Y'all, it took me 3 weeks to sign my first loyal customer outside of my mother-in-law. Okay, 3 weeks. If I would have quit after 3 weeks because I was like, every single person in my family, all my close friends told me no, what if I would have quit? I was a corporate America mom who loved her job, but spent so much time away from her baby and her husband. If I didn't do it, I wouldn't be home full time now because of this business. So you never know. So 4 weeks is not enough. 6 months is not enough either. I'm telling you right now, if you are not working and being consistent, you're not going to see what the people to the left or the right of you are. All right. And I know this is blunt and I'm about to say this, but you have no right to complain about your business if you're not checking off your KPIs daily. All right. You've got to think about it that way. If you're wondering why aren't people enrolling? What does she have that I don't? What is that person doing that I'm doing? They're doing their KPIs. They're showing up daily. Y'all, that's it. That is it. There is no secret sauce to this. You have it. The KPIs, you have the leaders, you have the steps to success. They're not asking for a lot. It's simplified for you and it's duplication. So it's consistent with your leadership. It's consistent showing up. You're not going to enroll your DT though that you want you to take Diamond if you're not showing up like a DT that you want, right? What do we always say? What kind of DT, what kind of PDTs are you looking for? Honey, if that list isn't mirrored with what you are, you've got to level up, right? If the DT you're looking for is not what you're showing up every single day, you got to level up. So there's some self-reflection there, right? And not only this, but why would you think a loyal customer is going to sign for 90 days if you're not showing up for 90 days? All right. People see it. People see the posts, people see the stories. And I can tell you, I was this after Diamond. I slowed down and y'all, I lost people because I wasn't consistently showing up. I didn't ask. After I lost one DT go to another team, it's not even on Sinclair's downline. She went to Diamond. I said, oh, nope, I'm never doing that again. Everybody's going to get asked. Don't ever judge. Like I'm telling you, y'all, everything that was shared tonight, it's simplicity. It's just about doing. All right. So that's my thing to you is if you want to go to Diamond, you want to go to Ruby, you can go to Emerald Plus, you can, but it's up to you and you just got to show up.
Oh, so good. I love that tough love. You know, I love me some tough love. Our team knows that we love to give some tough love, but it's because we love you guys and that's why we're tough on you. So we're allowed to give tough love if you know if you guys know that we love you. I want to also point out with personal development, you guys, we wouldn't take like 150 of you guys on a Zoom and tell you all to pick up a book or listen to a podcast or just to be cute. Like we wouldn't take our most motivated people on our teams and say, you know, put your phone away, stop interacting with people, stop doing host to post and fill up your brain if it wasn't that important. How silly would that be of us to do that? It's because it's important. It's important. So much of this business is mindset because we can all do all the things that all of these ladies talked about on this Zoom tonight. We can all do it. But the difference between the people that do and don't, it's here. It's not in some special skill or talent that we have. Yes, we show up and yes, we get better at these things, but a lot of it is just the mindset and the discipline to keep doing it day after day and focusing on what we're outputting rather than the outcome that we're getting. Because the outcome's going to come as long as you guys keep showing up. And I need you to start thinking about self-development as it's an income producing activity. I think so many people put it off until, you know, when I get to Diamond, I'll start doing it. When I start making this much money, when I start having more time, I will do it. I need you to start thinking of self-development, podcast, YouTube, whatever you want to do, as if that's the thing that's going to make you the most money, because it actually will end up making you the most money because it's going to give you that consistency that Jen just talked about. So the very last thing that I'm going to leave you guys with is if you want to see a crazy increase in your business in 2021, you have to decrease the list of things that you're not willing to do to see results. So if you're not willing to jump on TikTok or Reels, or you're not willing to do host to post, you got to start taking some things off that list that you're not willing to do because they're uncomfortable or you tried it once or it didn't work for you. So if you want to increase your check, you got to decrease that list. And we are so thankful that all these amazing leaders joined tonight, shared all of their top tips with you guys. I will have the recording up on my YouTube channel, and then we will be on again tomorrow night at 8:30 for a kind of different Zoom, but we promise to still bring some fire. So we'll see you guys there. And thank you, friends, for being on.